That's getting edited out. I'm not looking stupid like that.
Oh no, come on, you make me look stupid all the time.
Yeah, that's the power of being the editor.
I hate you. Welcome to Roll and Review, where we talk about all things nerdy and awesome. I'm Jim,
And I'm Alex.
and welcome to the Roll and Review show.
And first off, I would like to apologize to our viewers and subscribers on the lack of content it's been in a while. We've gone through. Jim made a huge move across state lines, and I'm about to follow suit here in a couple weeks. So just getting everything in order with life has gotten really hectic. So we just want to apologize for that right away.
Absolutely, and now that we actually have this set up, we'll be able to record. Expect content coming out on a more regular basis than once every 3 weeks.
And
So,
any fans of the show, we need to create a drinking game. Every time Jim says absolutely, you take a shot. How many people will be dead by 10 minutes into the show?
everyone
will be dead.
Now I'm going to be self-conscious about saying that word.
Good, because you might
Alex.
stop saying it so much.
Damn it. Okay, so let's just get right into it then. Pokemon Go came out last Thursday, at least here in the United States, and it hit the country by storm.
It didn't just hit the country by storm. It hit the world by storm. It became the #1 app basically overnight. Anyone who's a child of the 90s or anyone who loves Pokemon in general have just gone completely apeshit over this thing. And it's a hell of a lot of fun. I can't lie. It's amazing.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I was sitting at work when I downloaded it, and instantly, where's the Squirtle? Where's the Squirtle? Got my Squirtle, caught him. It was great. Sitting there, found out about incense. Sitting there in my office using incense, getting the Pokemon to come to me. It was fantastic. But then even like the greatness that it is that gets people out moving. Heck, Alex was down here with me a few days ago, and me and him, we walked around. We went to a gym. We went to some Pokestops, caught some Pokemon together. It was fun. We were walking around. We were being more active than our normal selves.
We got mean mugged by a bunch of Indians. It was great.
Oh gosh, yeah, I did not feel welcome in that neighborhood.
The gym we were trying to take over was in the middle of an apartment complex that was primarily Indian, and they were definitely giving us "you shouldn't be here" looks. It was kind of funny.
Two white guys in the middle of an Indian group.
Though as much as fun as the game is, there definitely are a few problems. Just the simplicity of the game, as much fun as it is, I feel like it's missing a lot of parts. Nintendo has come out and said they're going to be adding a lot to the game, but even then, I don't think it's exactly what a lot of fans were expecting. Obviously, it hasn't deterred anyone at all for playing the game. But there was some, for lack of a better word, disappointment on some of the mechanics of the game, such as how to catch Pokemon, the lack of battles, and how battles actually take place, just basically kind of spamming the screen, not actually any type of thought that can go into different moves.
Yeah, and the lack of move variety between the Pokemon. You don't get a chance to actually choose which moves they have out of a list. It's just the random roll you get. Plus the lack of things like trading in the game so far, which they did announce will be in the game. But for people before that announcement went in and said, well, why can't we trade? That's always been a huge part of the game. Pokemon originally...
It's Pokemon. Yeah. Pokemon... It basically exists for trading. It's a trading card game is how it existed. So the fact that there's no trading makes no sense.
Oh yeah, and I'm glad they're bringing that in.
Me too. And also another thing that's great about the game, Team Mystic and Team Instinct tiers keep me warm at night. It's utterly fantastic.
So if you can't tell from that, Alex is one of the a-holes who's Team Valor.
Because everyone who's not Team Valor does nothing but cry about Team Valor because they don't have enough skill or anything to hold up on their own.
No. I get upset at Team Valor because Team Valor people are assholes. And they're like, well, what team are you? Instinct, because I'm a nice person.
Yeah, you're one of the 3 people on the planet who are Team Instinct.
Hey, I personally know more than 3. So
Okay, fine. Sorry, 4. Ooh.
I don't know who the fourth guy is, but me and him need to
Like,
get together.
Instinct is just kind of there. Mystic seems to have numbers on their side, because if people don't know, the 3 teams for Pokemon Go are Team Instinct, which nobody cares about, which is the yellow moniker. You have Team Mystic, which is blue, which seems to just have strength in numbers. Oh my god, are there so many Mystics around? Like, due to the Nintendo numbers, there's more Team Mystics than anyone else. And then there's Team Valor, the actual Pokemon masters who have the skill and determination able to actually train Pokemon.
I'm sorry. Did you
I
just
get
say only Team Valor are the Pokemon Masters?
I get nothing but hate from the internet, so go screw yourself. I'm allowed to
I'm
say
getting
what I
hate.
want.
I'm getting hate from you right now.
Yeah, because you do nothing but dish it to me, and I take it by proxy from literally everyone on the internet.
I give you props where props are deserved. You know that. But I gotta say, as a Team Instinct, I'm doing pretty good for myself.
I like how you have to add the moniker as a Team Instinct, like, despite the fact that I'm on this team, I'm still doing good for myself.
No, it's despite the comments that and the claims you're making. So, yeah.
I feel like Instincts just try to just sweep under the radar. They don't want to be known at all.
We don't want to be known until it's time to strike. We're building up our forces in secret, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, everything's Team Valor. You're going to wake up the next morning and be like, why is Instinct everywhere? We're going to be like, yeah, because we showed up.
Well, this is what I've noticed with the gyms for Instinct. Like, you see a bunch of Mystic gyms everywhere, but they're easily taken over. Valor gyms, we have, I think, a bit more gyms than Mystic, but again, there's a lot of contention going on. Team Instinct has, like, basically a tenth of the gyms as the other 2 factions, but my god, are those gyms stupid strong.
Right, because when we decide to take something over, we did it with forethought that not only can we beat their people to take over the gym, but we have people to put in that are going to keep it.
Yeah, but you never
I mean,
go...
my Flareon's been in a gym for just coming up on 24 hours now. No one's even contested it.
Yeah, but you don't do anything else with it. You just kind of stay there and, like, we're just gonna build. Hee.
Exactly.
We're here.
We're
You're like
here.
the stupid...
We're getting coins. We're building up our stocks.
And you
We're
still don't
training
have any
our Pokemon.
Pokeballs, so how's that going for you?
Because I catch lots of Pokemon.
So do I. I still catch Pokemon, but
They just happen to be all Rattatas. I did catch a female Nidoran today. That was the first time I'd seen one. Caught one of those today. And a Snorlax.
I had a Butterfree who was a right asshole today.
Oh, yeah, that's a Butterfree. What do you expect?
Butterfree was being a dick.
Right?
And I ran a Pidgeot that was hanging out in the middle of the road, too. Like a dick.
Well, because it knew you were Team Valor.
Yeah. I spent a bunch of time today with Frank from the segment Frank Gets Angry. I need to find a way to talk to him because I want him to get Frank. I want Frank Gets Pissed again at some point because that was great.
Absolutely. You'll just have to bring him into your house, which is scary.
Yeah, because Valors are allowed in the house.
Am I not allowed in your house anymore?
No, you're not.
For the record, and I've noticed this amongst a lot of people, and people I've been talking to here in Louisville, like at the comic book shop I go to now. People didn't talk about what team they were going to before they chose their team. So it put friends against friends, or like if you were the last friend to get the game, everyone is yelling at you to join their team.
Speaking of which, there's an EV right here. I'm catching this EV. Sorry, I'll be right back.
And Alex is gone. But yeah, any other things to kind of say about this game so far?
It's really funny because you can always tell who's playing when you're outside. That you point, you're like, I know what you're doing. I mean, we got honked. We got honked by someone coming off an interstate because we were playing Pokemon Go. So
yeah, and I have to say the community around this game has been
unless
fantastic.
They're on the internet, and then their souls go away.
Well, that's because everyone's souls go away on the internet because you don't actually have to say something to someone's face.
Yeah, but you don't get the bulk of this. It's only I get the bulk of this.
Well, that's because you chose a poor team.
See? Look what I get. Look what I get here.
Yeah, this would have happened if you chose Mystic and I chose Valor, or if any other combination. If we aren't on the same team, we're going to give each other crap. You just know that's true.
And I like how you have two of our friends, but then I'm just gaining support via like literally everybody else.
I'm finding other Team Instinct people. They're coming out of the woodwork.
Let's see, because I have your girlfriend, I have Joe's girlfriend, I have Frank.
Well, Frank doesn't count. He's just an angry man.
Yeah. Half of Toxin Trades is Valor. I think Jeremy might be too. So it's
Jeremy is Valor.
Yeah. So all of Toxin Trades are Valor.
Oh, so John is Valor too.
When his girlfriend is, and he's going. He hasn't downloaded it yet, but he's basically saying, "Yeah, I'm going Valor."
Yeah.
So I've got all that. Yeah, we're getting.
See, when I got my girlfriend to download the game, she specifically went, but Joe's girlfriend and Alex, they're Team Valor, so I'm going to go with them.
Yes.
Thanks.
I win.
Don't back me. Why would I do that?
And my girlfriend has to put up with me because I actually want to take dogs for walks now just because I want to catch Pokemon, and that's the only reason why.
Right, but like that's the beautiful thing about this game. Like people are getting up and active. Heck, my mom was talking to me on the phone. She works in a village in the town hall, and she was like, "Kids are coming up to the town hall all the time. The kids are riding their bikes up here. It's so cool to see." Like, yeah, because kids are being active again because they have to. They have to go to the Pokestops. They have to go to the gym. They have to explore to find new Pokemon. And I think that's one great thing about this game.
All right, and I think we'll, for right now, we'll obviously do another update on Pokemon Go besides the rivalry that's going to go on between the two of us as it goes on. But I know we're a little late coming to this, but we're going to talk about the reveals at E3 a little bit.
Yep.
Just because it was right in the middle of our huge move, so we really didn't get to talk about it too much. One of the big ones that a lot of sequels were coming out. But before we do that, I want to get into one of the original games. All right, so one of the games I want to talk about that was revealed in E3 was Sea of Thieves, which is going to be a massive multiplayer game where you get to be pirates, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I like the graphics of it, a bit more cartoony, a bit more lighthearted, kind of like which Zelda is that? Not Twilight. Is that not Twilight Princess? But you know what I'm talking about?
Is it Ocarina of Time?
No, Skyward Sword. Sorry, Skyward Sword.
Oh.
And how it's just like a bit more cartoony and fun, and it looks like it's just going to be a really fun game to play with a bunch of friends, and it's probably going to really competitive, but it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the art of it was cool. How it is the more cartoony stuff. It wasn't trying to be, ultra realistic.
Yeah, but, it wasn't really good. It wasn't going for violence. It was going for, we're going to have fun being pirates, and this is how it's going to go.
Absolutely. And it looked really cool. The one thing that concerns me about those games is the fact that you have to essentially play with friends. Because, let's be honest, sometimes friends are terrible when trying to get them all to play online together.
That is true. Hence your experience in The Division.
The Division, Destiny, pretty much any mass multiplayer game.
Never got into Destiny ever.
I tried.
No, I didn't want. I watched so many people's lives get sucked into Destiny. I never had the desire to play that game. Anyway, so let's go. Let's hit a bunch of the sequels that are coming out. Let's do a little bit more rapid fire. Titanfall 2, what do you think?
Titanfall 2, I think, is going to actually be a pretty great game. I think they learned a lot from the first one. There's going to be single player now. There's going to be not online multiplayer option, which is basically all Titanfall was. But they're improving on what was already a great game.
Agreed. Titanfall had great potential with I loved a kind of a step away from just like the modern warfare that was basically eclipsing all first person shooters at the time and bringing in mechs and just a bunch of fun crazy stuff. Yeah, and with the addition of actual single player and not everything's going to be online only, there might actually be a single player campaign, which is going to be great to see. So I'm very optimistic for it, and I hope they don't screw it up. All right, Battlefield 1, going back to World War 1, and the first Battlefield game since Battlefield 3, or no, Bad Company, to get away from Modern Warfare. What do you think?
This one I'm skeptical about, mainly because Battlefield has kind of shown itself to be catering more and more to the casual player, which it really wasn't early on, because there were many things that were skill based and you had to learn how to do certain things like fly planes, be a sniper, do things like that. So I'm still on the edge about it.
I would argue it's only really been Battlefield 4 was really casual, because Battlefield 3 is more, it was leaning that way, but didn't go completely that way. But purists will definitely go Battlefield 2. They're Bad Company 2. That's,
of course,
you know they will.
Well, see, and I noticed you already forgot about Hardline, because Hardline came after 4.
Hardline was. Don't even get me started on the rant of Hardline was DLC. That should have been DLC. If Hardline was a $20 DLC, it would have been the best DLC ever made. But the fact that they sold that for a full game, it just makes me goddamn mad.
Right. But those are like Hardline and 4 are the games that really worry me about this. Because I would like it to go back to more of a skill based. I understand you need to sell the casual player, because that's how you make ultra successful games. But it kind of lost some of its heart and soul when it catered too much to the casual player.
And
However,
from everything
World
so far,
War One scene
and all the gameplay that we've seen so far and people have played, it looks absolutely just. It looks like Battlefield again, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, is that what they're calling it? I don't even know.
Infinity Wars.
Yeah, whatever the fuck.
That comes with, if you get the $100 special edition,
the $100 scam?
Yeah, you get Modern Warfare Remastered. So essentially, you're spending $100 to buy a remastered
Modern
game.
Warfare.
And they're shoving Infinity Wars down your throat with it.
So just because I don't want to go on a massive rant on how goddamn screwed up EA and Infinity Ward are for this, how they're just taking their fan base basically by prisoner, I'm not going to. But to go on to a different topic, just because you can tell by my tone of voice that I absolutely hate what they're doing with this. But the future of remastered editions for the new consoles. Because another game that was a big reveal by Bethesda that no Elder Scrolls 6 is in the works as of this moment, but they did do a remaster version of Skyrim. And if anyone who doesn't play PC was like, oh my god, this looks amazing, and anyone who's PC is like, yeah, we've had this for years.
Essentially it is the new texture packs.
And with the ability to have mods. So I will give them that. They're finally making mods available to the consoles, which I think is a really good idea. Mods do such more in-depth version of the game because you have people who are absolutely amazing and creative and so skilled making these amazing mods. Like, I need to look. What was the brand new mod that came out for Skyrim? The complete, redesign.
Oh gosh, the mod? Shoot, I can't remember.
It's brand new. Enderall, the Shards of Order. Basically turns Skyrim into a complete different game. Like, they did this with Oblivion as well. They basically just take the engine that it is and completely revamp it. This mod makes it a whole new game with characters that's voice acted, everything. And now that consoles are finally going to be able to get in on these type of things with even more texture packs, basically, because you've seen my version of Skyrim on my Mega Machine, and I don't need a remastered edition because I have one already. I just have to go to all these amazing online communities that give it to us. And the fact that Bethesda opens this, which is kind of weird that it's remastered edition, I think they just wanted to put one out on the PS4 to give them and Xbox One to give them some more time to make Elder Scrolls 6. Because, well, I know there's so many people who are absolutely waiting for this game, and I'm really happy for them. I just really wanted to hopefully hear of something, at least news on Elder Scrolls 6, but we didn't get anything.
Yeah, I mean, I I'm fine with Elder Scrolls 6 taking a while to actually come out.
Oh, I wasn't expecting like next.
Well, it's I mean very similarly like Bethesda has done other places with like the Fallout games, where Fallout 3 came out when we were in high school, and the Fallout 4 came out last year. So like it was
To be
6
fair,
years,
there was also
7 years.
there was New Vegas between that, so
What?
it wasn't.
Hey, they have Elder Scrolls Online.
And between what was it 2006 and Oblivion came out 2006 and Skyrim came out 2011, so it was a 5 year gap there.
Yeah.
I was expecting at least something this year, like because I know they are completely revamping their engine since Fallout 3. They've been using the same engine since then, and they're going to obviously Fallout 4 showed that they need to update their engine.
Oh, absolutely.
And I know that takes a lot of time, and that's not something that you can just whip out willy nilly. But just some type of announcement, like not even a title, just like a hint at maybe where it's going to take place, just something. But we didn't get anything.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I expect something next year, even if it's just a hint. But if it doesn't happen next year, then I'll start getting worried about if it's going to happen.
It will happen. Bethesda would be so stupid not to make an Elder Scrolls 6. It just would be utterly stupid.
They would, but companies can be stupid.
Though I would also be okay with if they wanted to go a remastered edition of some sort, if they basically made a new arena, a new Daggerfall. I would be okay with that. Because so many people in the Elder Scrolls, so many of the fans only jumped on at Morrowind, and so many more just Oblivion, and then even more just with Skyrim. So being able to go back and redo some of the older games to make people who wouldn't buy it just because they jumped in so much later, they weren't going to take a step back in technology wise, because it might be unplayable for them for whatever reason. So remastering those, I think would have been I think that would have been an amazing idea.
It surely would have been. It would be interesting if they did something like that. Even if they just kind of remaster them all, put them as a pack, and it was like the Ultimate Elder Scrolls pack or something like that.
I'd buy that on Steam.
I know you would.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
Not even during the Steam sale. You just buy that.
Oh, I would just do it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, especially since if they did that, the modders that would going back to mods, like the amount of things that you can have. Like, there's already a huge community that's for Skywind and Skyblivion that turned both Oblivion and they're working on Morrowind into the updated engine, and those are huge projects and massive undertakings, and it's all through fans. There's no like official studio doing it. Like, that's how strong this community is, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Bethesda will do for them, but I want to make sure they don't just try to string us along.
Yeah, which unfortunately is entirely possible.
True. After what they did with Elder Scrolls Online, yeah, we're a little faith lost. Fallout 4 brought the faith back, but Elder Scrolls Online left a bad taste in a bunch of people's mouths.
It really did.
All right, moving on from that, Dead Rising 4, what's your thoughts on that one? Because I never really played the Dead Rising, so you'd be the one to talk about this.
Yeah, so the Dead Rising 4 looked actually pretty interesting. They bring back character Frank from a previous game, which people were really hoping to see in 3. Um, it's it looks pretty fun. You can still tell. They talk about in the interviews the insane amount of being able to customize weapons and like the things that make uh, Dead Rising what it is. But also along with that, just the mass hordes of zombies, all of that looked
Yes.
incredible. They had special slow mo kills, which looked kind of gruesome, but was really something interesting to see. Of course, the minute of gameplay that they had at E3 got a little repetitive after 20 minutes of talking about it, but
True.
um, I think it'll be an interesting game at this point. It's it's a well established series. I mean, I don't know too many people who have played the game and didn't like it, and even now, I mean, they can almost make fun of themselves, um,
Yeah.
and the ridiculousness of the game in the game. Um, and
Sort of like in a just cause type of way that
exactly.
just is ultimately utterly ridiculous, but it's just so much fun. Like you can attach rockets to cows and send it into orbit because you can.
Right. Um, so I'm excited for that game. I really enjoyed the previous Dead Rising games, uh, and seeing gameplay from Dead Rising 4 really got me interested in the
All right.
game.
We'll save the game that I'm looking forward to for last, but the next one of the last sequels we're going to talk about is Battlefront 2. And uh I they've got to do there's no trust here.
There's no
You
trust here.
EA, you need to knock this out of the park. This is not a oh, it's going to be fine. It's going to be this. No, this is not just another we don't want another Battlefield Hardline, which basically was Battlefront for us. You you got to show us that you actually care,
Yeah,
and you're not just trying to make a Battlefield skin. You need to make Battlefront, and you got to prove to us. You still haven't gained any trust. If anything, you've lost a lot of it.
yeah. And honestly, while I doubt it's going to be there, and I don't remember hearing anything about this, I hope they learned that they need a single player with it. I'm pretty sure it's multiplayer, just like the first of the new ones. Um, it's going to be, bringing content from the new films of the Star Wars franchise. Like, oh, great. But I, it's a multiplayer battle game,
Yeah.
like the first
I
one.
I'd like to see more planets than just maps on certain planets.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, bring back what Battlefront was. Go some galactic conquest, some good single player instant action if you can. Like
Yeah. I mean, I think they could, with the technology that we have, you can take the best parts of the first Battlefront, Battlefront 2, with
the
the
visuals of this new
visuals.
Battlefront,
Yeah.
because the best part of this new Battlefront was the visuals and the sound.
Oh, yeah.
And if you can combine that with the gameplay of some of the originals, you have a perfect formula for success right there.
Yeah, you
That
really
would
do.
make millions of dollars. The fans would love you and they would just give you their money.
Yeah,
Plus
oh,
with the
absolutely.
better multiplayer, like the multiplayer of the new Battlefront was fine. If you just needed the single player to go along with it.
Right. We needed something to actually hold our attention when we
Yeah.
didn't want to play online, because even like the survival rounds, well, that was boring as crap. Um,
Some something that would keep our attention that we would play till 4 in the morning like we were kids with the old ones.
exactly.
I just never had the desire to do it like I had with this one.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
my all of my
don't.
desire to play that game was, uh, I have to. Or, one of our friends, Matt, jumping on going, hey, play Battlefront with me, and me eventually going, all right, fine, I'll play some Battlefront with you.
Yeah, like our main struggle was we're going to be making a video here in the sometime in the near future comparing the old Battlefronts of 1 and 2 to this new one. And we were grinding to get footage for that.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
essentially it. That's 90% of my gameplay in that game
all
was
right.
I need to get footage for this.
All
But
right. So
enough bitching about that. Moving
one of the
on.
last announcements from E3 is near and dear to my heart because for many reasons I love this series. I think it's absolutely incredible and we're getting a little spin-off from it, especially since CD Projekt Red said they weren't making any more titles for this game, so at least we're getting something else before they completely throw this universe away. We're going to get Gwent, the Witcher card game. And this looks like it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, I know you were a big fan of it. I had problems with it because, let's be honest, it
You suck
is
at it.
difficult. It's not something that even at the beginning, it's not something you're like, oh, I can win a couple up front. It was, nope, up front, this is going to be challenging. This is going to be hard.
Then you just build your deck and you become awesome at it. And one thing that I'm liking about this new Gwent game, one, there's going to be more depth in it. Like, one thing that was great about Gwent in The Witcher 3 was it was a very simple rock paper scissors mechanic with the 3 tiers, and there was a bunch of depth with the summon cards, with the scorch cards, with the commander's horn cards, and the different bonuses you can get, and the weather cards that really took things away. And but then you had the heroes, because near endgame, when you had both Geralt, Ciri, Yennefer, Triss, Vernon Roach, you got so overpowered that you could basically just run over anyone. Like, granted, with the new Skellige deck that was added in Blood and Wine, and having to play a tournament with that Skellige deck really threw a lot of players for a loop because I played Northern Realms. That was my deck. And having to switch to Skellige really threw me off because that threw off my entire strategy. So there was a big, nice, good difficulty curve when we're playing the final DLC, which I'll make another video on Witcher Blood and Wine because it's absolutely incredible. But with this new Gwent game is going really in depth with it. There's going to be a lot of mechanics in it. It's going to be, I think, one of those games that's easy to learn, difficult to master type of things.
Sure.
And it looks like they're going to hopefully do a very good way of balancing opponents for people who want to play, so people don't get put off with it right away if they don't come in right in the beginning and get steamrolled by the obvious people on the internet who steamroll everyone on the internet. So
it's a pretty good description of like half the people on the internet.
You remember those old StarCraft videos before Dota was a thing and League of Legends was a thing, that they're just sitting there like, pounding the hotkeys like, my fingers don't move that fast. I don't know how you can play StarCraft this fast.
Yeah, those people spent too much time playing StarCraft. In my opinion.
They're Koreans. They have a channel dedicated to video games. They're hardcore.
They have like a school dedicated to video games. Because even when you look at like watch League of Legends or stuff like that, those teams are always the best.
I've been to a Korean League of Legends match. I was in Seoul. My God, they are as intense as you go to either like an American football game or like a European soccer game. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It is. And
anyone
like
who watches our videos from Korea, please back me up that you guys go nuts over League of Legends.
Even I support you backing him up at this moment in time. And if you've watched our channel, you know that doesn't happen often. So, yeah, no, absolutely.
And he wonders why I make him look stupid.
Meh.
All right. So what was the Going on from just the announcements,
Well,
tell everyone what was the main thing you wanted to talk about today as our main segment of the show.
we still had one more thing to talk about. Very
What?
first thing on the list, Recore.
To be honest, I was working a lot and I completely missed anything that has to do with Recore, so have fun.
Yeah, so Recore actually looks like a pretty interesting game. So it's going to be kind of an action adventure game, set futuristic, um, and essentially you have a core that you can put into different robots, and it it actually looks super interesting, super fun. It's not. I don't think it's going to be a Uncharted, something like that, but it's something new, and it actually looks like it's going to be a pretty decent game. Some cool action sequences I saw in there of gameplay. Some really cool, using of the robots. Um, it's a game to look
Okay.
out for. It's a game to look out
Yeah.
for.
Uh, one more that we didn't have on the list of our things we wanted to talk about that I wanted to get your opinion on. One of the games that I'm actually looking forward to most coming out of E3 was For Honor.
For Honor.
Did you not catch that at all?
I did not, so take it away, Alex.
Okay, For Honor is basically going to be a combination, like it's like a hack and slash game that you basically are Vikings, samurai, and knights, if I believe. That you're basically fighting for territory, and you go up as you're one of the main characters, and you basically can just completely slash through, like the little, like the drones, the minions, and then when you get to like some of the bosses, and you literally have a mechanic where you have to slash and block with your joysticks on how to do combat. It looks really sophisticated. Like you see how they're slashing and you have to block a certain way in order to block it with your joystick. Like it looks like a really in-depth combat system. Everyone was talking about it and how it looks like it has really, really high potential. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking up now, like the 16 minutes of gameplay that I showed at E3, and
Yeah.
yeah, holy smokes, this
If
looks
you
really cool.
if you haven't heard of For Honor and you want to see some good gameplay footage, look up Outside Xbox's video. They did a Let's Play at E3 with the footage that they got to see. So I really enjoyed seeing it from them, and you should go check it out from them.
Absolutely, and that game
And we'll
is
link that
set to
we'll link that video in the description below.
absolutely, and that game is set to come out like February next year. So that's an
Yeah,
early
it's very
release
soon.
next year.
Yeah,
Like,
it's very soon, so it's something that we can be playing really quickly.
yeah, it's set to come out Valentine's Day.
Of course it
So
is.
so when I inevitably do something stupid and Rachel gets pissed at me, I can go play that instead.
I only have one pass for video games, and that's Elder Scrolls 6, so
I have
I
not been given
have
any
a
passes.
standing
So.
agreement with my girlfriend that she will be ignored for about 2 weeks when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. But unless it's that game, I probably am going to have to make some type of a
At least she knows it.
deal with what I'm playing.
At least she knows it. It's really what matters.
Anyway, so now let's go into what you wanted to talk about today.
Right. So what I want to talk about today is big rage. A lot of people have been talking about it. A lot of channels are making stuff on it. VR. Is it just going to be a gimmick, or is this the future of gaming?
I personally wouldn't say it's the future of gaming, but I will say it's a genre of gaming that's here to stay. Because they've advanced to a point with VR that it is not such just a gimmick, that it is actually something that can add to the experience of games, such as especially the survival horror genre. VR has been made perfect for that. Like, if there's any genre that goes more hand in hand with VR, it's survival horror. And I think it's something that can really add to certain types of games. I don't think it's going to be a mainstay for every game, because can you imagine playing Uncharted 4 in VR?
That
No,
would be awesome, but no.
I don't think it would, just with how everything would be. I It probably could be fun, but just the set pieces is really taking in the scope of everything, and I
Yeah,
think you would lose some of that in first person. So I think it's going to be a great tool that can be used for the future of gaming, but it won't take over the entire industry.
yeah. See, I kind of see it the same way as motion capture. The Kinect was huge. Everyone wanted to Kinect for Xbox, and the Wii, did a lot of stuff with the nunchucks, and really what it
Yeah,
comes down to is when people want to just play a game, they want to sit there and play a game. They don't want to have to be up and doing things. Um, when people come home and want to play their console, they
yeah,
want to look
but
at a TV and just play the console.
yeah, but to be fair, VR actually works compared to Kinect that doesn't work at all.
This is true, and that's an absolutely true point. And I don't mean to say like it's
And
not going to work as something, but I just
and
can't see it
with
being. I just can't
yeah,
see it being the medium that most video games end up going to, especially since
which is
you still have to walk around in the space you have, and that's not going to be
no,
the
you don't.
same. With
You don't have to walk around. You just have to
well,
look around.
some of the VR games actually moving around that space with some of the headsets. They tell
Well,
you to
like
have a
some like
space
what are
like
the
15 feet wide and like to set up all
okay?
the like motion
That's not
capture.
the norm. That's trying to still do stuff with like Kinect. Like a lot of the VR games that I've seen is you sit in your comfy chair and you just look around by doing things. And that's why I say it's going to be a genre. It's not going to be like a staple or just like a fad that goes away, because you can get real depth and additions to certain types of games with VR. It's just not going to be something to stay. Like one of the games that we even forgot to mention with E3, the VR Star Trek game, I think looks like it can be a lot of fun. That if I can afford a VR headset, I might get it just to play this.
Oh, the bridge game.
Yeah,
We were actually sitting on
yeah,
like the bridge of the Enterprise.
yeah. Like you can actually be a crew member on the Star Trek Enterprise, and it's going to be amazing.
I mean, it's definitely it would definitely be cool, but I mean, with the with the actual VR stuff, I know a fellow YouTuber Scott Manley was testing out the HTC Vive, um, which is, with the exception of the defective controller that he got with it, um, is a pretty
Let's just
normal staple for VR. And he had to set up a space that was large enough for
well that
movement around the
depends
area.
on the VR headset you get too. You're just taking it off the Vive. Like there are like the Oculus Rift, the Sony one that I can't remember off the top of my head, the new Xbox Scorpio, like they're not all going to be like the Vive. So you can't just it's not a generalized statement. Each one is different, and they're still making improvements to them as well. So I think it could also be a really fun addition to like racing games. I think it would be perfect for them, or flight simulator games as well. Like it will have its place.
It'll be. I don't think. I think it'll get really popular, and then it'll pretty much diminish into these small subcategories of games like
Well,
horror,
well,
and it's just not going to be used in gaming for the most part.
that's if they make shit games because of it. If developers actually make good games that doesn't make people nauseous and doesn't rely too much on gimmicks, it can be here to stay, because it can really add depth to stuff. Like with the new Resident Evil, like there are going to be huge sections of the game that you can play in either VR or regular. And I think it's going to be things like that. So if you really like VR, you can do it. But it's going to be a lot of the options, I think, will be there as well.
Yeah, it'll be at most it will be an option. It's not going to be the medium for the game. It's going to be an option that you can use with the game. I mean, even like games that are using it now, like Universe Sandbox, games like that, they're still normal games, but they say, we've made it so you can use VR with it.
Speaking of, I really want to play Universe Sandbox in VR.
It looks really cool. That's actually like the first
really
game Scott
wanna-
Manley. That's like the first game Scott Manley tested with it, with the VR stuff, and it looks really cool. But when it really comes down to it, it's still a game that most people are going to play, and the medium they built the game around is with your mouse and the keyboard, and not with the VR headset. And I think that's what most games are going to be. They're going to be built around the controller or the mouse and keyboard, and then they're going to say, but we have this VR stuff if you really like that to do with it too.
A lot of games you still use your mouse or your controller with the VR. It's not just the specific VR stuff.
Well, yeah, well, a lot of them have, actually, just about like all of them have controllers hooked up with the VR because you have to. I'm not saying that there isn't going to be something in your hand with buttons in it. What I'm saying is you're still going to be using your mouse and keyboard for the most part and looking at a screen and not putting on a VR headset and
You know that really sad moment when you're out of Pokeballs?
yeah, I'm living it right now.
Yeah, but luckily I have great balls, so it's okay.
That's all I got for you right now. All I got. So
shows the professionalism we have on this show.
there's no professionalism.
Yeah, no, there was never professionalism.
None at all.
Speaking of, I actually want to check out the channel right now. I am.
I was already doing that. Surprisingly, despite the fact that we haven't been posting videos, last few days we've gotten some views.
What?
Yeah, so on the 10th we got 3 views. On the 7th we got 4.
Hey, we still have 31 subscribers. Wow,
we do. So thank you again to all of you subscribers who did not leave us in the period of our drought period.
Except for Uncharted Forest only has 9 views. What the hell is this?
Well,
come on, guys.
It happens.
Still makes me sad. And expect some changes to the D&D videos coming up in the future. There's going to be some changes coming up.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of new stuff in that category too. Along with tabletop gaming stuff, not just being D&D, but also exploring some new games, playing them, testing them out, letting you guys know how they are. There are a couple really cool games that I just met the creators of them. They're coming up for sale, so it's one of those things that gonna start breaking into that a little bit.
Yeah.
So, woo. Did you notice I've been very careful to avoid saying that word you mentioned at the very beginning of the video?
I know.
Are you proud of me?
Yeah, a little bit.
I almost said it a few times. I stopped myself mid-word.
Good. It's improved our videos greatly, so thank you for that.
Hey, no one mentioned anything in the comments.
No one comments in general, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. See, so I can't be doing something that wrong. So people would jump on it instantly. For the record, everyone, you can totally comment on our videos. Please do. Tell us what you think. Because we like interacting with you guys. Because it's more fun that way.
All right, so let's close out this before we just start streeping off into dead air, and we don't want that at all. So
Right.
Thank you guys very much for sticking with us, even though we've kind of been on a hiatus. Just life gets in the way, and as soon as I finally make my move, we'll be able to get much higher production value and more consistent content coming out. So please, we ask that you just have a little bit more patience with us, and we promise we'll deliver.
Absolutely.
Got
Thank. I
it.
hate you.
Yes. Everyone take a shot. Everyone who's watching right now, take a shot.
Unless you're not 21, then don't take a shot because that would be illegal. Unless you're in a different
Legal.
country where the rules are different. Because there are some people in different countries.
Not some people. We have a lot of people.
I mean, we still have like 1,000 views from the United States. So
Yeah.
the United States is still our main section. But
Anyway. So, thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Give us a like and subscribe if you like this video, and leave a comment if what you'd like to see or what we can do better. And we'll see y'all later. Team Instinct sucks.
subscribe.